Hi, this is Jeremy Schiefling, the founder and chief nerd of Break Into Tech, and I'm here to help you land a product marketing job. So let's start with the key skills you're going to need to demonstrate. Because whether you're building a PMM resume, a LinkedIn profile, or even a set of behavioral interview answers, this role really does boil down to 4 key competencies. Number 1, can you lead great research into your customer base and come up with killer insights about your users? That's the foundation that everything else comes from. That's where you have to start your case. Number 2, can you leverage those insights to influence product managers and inform the product roadmap? I know it's tough because you don't control the roadmap directly, but can you use that power of sharing information and sharing insights to ultimately move the needle? Number 3, can you build a highly detailed go-to-market plan covering everything from high-level product positioning to the precise messaging and channels you want to leverage? If you've ever run campaigns, if you've ever thought about marketing strategy, this will be a great time to bring up those experiences. Finally, number 4, can you measure the performance of your plan and optimize your campaigns over time? Marketing dollars can be very scarce at times. You always have to justify their expenditure. The way you do that is by constantly getting a higher ROI on every dollar you spend. So if you can think of stories that touch on each of these pillars, you're going to have an incredible foundation to build upon. And to get you going, here are some examples in each of those areas. So as you can see here, we're covering research, influence, planning, and optimizing. For every single example, we have a key skill, whether it's segmentation or collaboration or experimentation. And then we have a very impactful outcome. What points did we put on the board? How did we move the needle when it comes to the key metrics? If you can combine those skills with those outcomes, you have a great marketing bullet. And then once you've got those bullets and those stories ready, let's get ready to prep for the case interview. Because even if you've never done product marketing before, your prospective employer will be curious to see whether you understand the role and whether you have the right instincts to tackle challenging situations. So for this practice, let's imagine that you're the PMM for Google Maps in charge of attracting more small businesses to the platform. And you found that growth has leveled off and really needs a jumpstart. In this case, rather than jumping into marketing campaigns, you take a step back and start thinking about your customer. And by doing research into the SMB audience, you might discover that this audience has 2 big pain points when it comes to signing up for things like Google Maps. First, they have limited tech know-how. They got into this business to sell clothing or sell food, not to know technology. And number 2, their time is extremely tight. They're working hard to keep their business afloat. They're not really focused on investing in tech. As a result, you want to take these insights back to the product team and start applying them to their roadmap. For instance, you might want to make the SMB map sign up way less complicated and much faster to sell through. That way you're taking the actual pain straight from the customer and you're building into that roadmap in a way that really respects and acknowledges what the SMB audience is up against. And then, once you've got the product headed in the right direction, you can start to think about the go-to-market plan. Specifically, you'd want to identify the best channels in which to reach SMBs. So you can think of influencers like Tim Ferriss or Gary Vee, as well as popular small business blogs. And then you want to think about how do you use those channels to share a message that speaks directly to SMBs' concerns. Whether you're talking about simplicity or how easy and fast this is to get done, you really want to make sure that's included in your core message. And then finally, of course, you want to carefully measure the results of your launch, especially the conversion rate for each channel and message. Because ultimately, your goal is to drive down the cost of new customer acquisition, and you can do that by carefully having each channel compete with each other and then A/B testing until you get good results. All that said, I just want to be clear that like any case answer, there is no quote-unquote right one here. Instead, however, you want to have a clear framework which gives you a chance to showcase that you have a full understanding of the role and gives you a little room to flex your research, marketing, and analytical muscles. And that's what an answer like this does. So now it's your turn to practice. So imagine in this case that you're a PMM at Airbnb in charge of jumpstarting its business customer outreach. How do you drive more enterprise customers to the site and away from traditional hotel players like Hyatt and Hilton? Again, resist the temptation to drive right into marketing campaigns or solutions and start by focusing on the customer and what they need. Once you have those insights fleshed out, then you can build out that plan of influencing the product roadmap, launching new products, and optimizing your results. And even better than practicing solo is practicing with a friend who's also interested in the space. Or better yet, a Haas industry expert who can give you great feedback on what the space really needs. And then after you've mastered this question, head over to Glassdoor for an even more extensive set of practice questions. So good luck with your practice, good luck with your interviews, and I can't wait to see you break into the product marketing world.